Y'all, can you believe I turned 60 years old this year? I can't believe it, but I did. I did. This year I turned 60 years old, y'all, on January. January. Yes, I'm an Aquarius and I turned 60 this year. And the year just seemed to have gone bananas. It went crazy before I even turned 60, y'all. I had this trip planned to go to Cancun, which I did, and I had a really good time. But even before I could get to the trip, December 31st, the craziest thing happened, and my husband had a stroke. Yes. New Year's Eve, my husband had a stroke. And, before you guys go crazy, he's doing much better now. And I have to talk about that whole ordeal on another video. But I have to tell you that that threw me for a loop because I had all of these plans for the year. I knew what I was going to do with my business, I knew what I was going to be doing personally. And that quickly shifted. So I had to jump into caregiver mode and just do all the things associated with that, and I'm still in it, still in the thick of it, but things are a lot better. But anyway, 60. Let me tell you guys, I was so crazy. I did not want to claim that number. I did not want to talk about my birthday. I did not want to celebrate my birthday. I was just like, 60 now? For real? 60? But anyway, since I turned 60, I have to tell you guys that I did shift. People kept telling me, oh, you ought to be thankful. Oh, you have to be grateful. Look at you. You don't look it. You have to embrace it. It's a blessing. And eventually I came around. I was not happy about it, but I came around and I'm like, okay, I am going to embrace this number and I'm going to embrace this season in my life. Because to be honest with you, I turned 60 and the only thing I could think of is, oh my God, I probably only have 20 more years to live. Because both of my parents died at like 80, 81, and that's all I could think about. And I kept getting depressed. And I was just like, ah. But I stopped myself and I started listening to what everybody said, and I learned to embrace the number. Embrace the number 60. So I am 60 and I'm so happy about it. And even though, I thought I was going to have to cancel my trip to Cancun, I was able to take it. Went to Cancun with a few of my friends and family, and I had a really, really good time. I enjoyed celebrating my birthday. Most people couldn't believe that I was 60 years old. It was the middle of January. I'm from New York. We just missed one of the worst snowstorms that we had had in years, and we were laying on a beach. It was super, super exciting and very, very chill. And then, we were there having a good time, and all of this craziness was happening in New York with, almost 2 feet of snow. And it was just exciting and exhilarating to be laying out on a beach in a hot, sunny weather while all of this craziness was going on. So that was one thing, and then, we come back and everything is happening and taking place. My husband is coming home from the rehab center and I'm jumping right into all of it. So for the first 3 months of this year, I felt like it just came and it just went. I felt like I couldn't really, get into it the way I wanted to. So I declared that April 1st was going to be my New Year's Eve. And when April 1st first rolled in, I just jumped right into all of the things that I had planned for the new year, all of my goals. I launched a new guide. I just did a lot of things that I said that I would do. And I'm starting to do all of those things and plan out and map out my year exactly the way I had it mapped out before. Now I just had like a 3-month delay, but things are moving along. So, what have I decided to do? I've decided to really begin to build up my YouTube channel, and I wanted to start up with a new series. And the new series is the 60 things I've learned now that I'm 60 years old. So, I will be creating a video about all of the things that I've learned now that I'm 60. So I'm super excited about that. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this series of videos because I guess I'm going to be creating at least 60 videos. I think some of them may be long, some of them may be short, but I will be going over the 60 things that I've learned now that I'm 60 years old. Okay, I am embracing I am embracing being 60, guys. I am. Even though it may seem like I'm not, I am embracing it. Okay? I'm learning to like deal with it. But I really learned, like one of the things I can say, to just even start off the series is that age is nothing but a number, right? So a lot of times you can turn a certain age and that can be a certain number, but you don't always necessarily feel like that age. I know that some days I wake up and I feel exactly like I did when I was 30 years old. I feel, sometimes like I could just run and have a good time and have fun. And I look at myself in the mirror sometimes and I just feel like I'm the same person that I was, back then. But then sometimes my body tells me a little bit differently, like you girl have a little crickety crick going on, I wake up in the morning and my bones are like popping and I'm just like, what is that? But outside of that, there are days when I just feel very good, like literally no different than I felt when I was in my 30s. So when they say that age is nothing but a number, I wholeheartedly believe it. And I know that there's this thing that's like the circle of life, and I know some people, when they're very young, they act very old. I personally believe that, like it says in the Bible, that there's a time for everything, a time to laugh, a time to cry, a time to act like a child, and a time to put away childish things. And I definitely believe in that. But I do believe that the circle of life oftentimes brings you right back to where you started. And I believe that all of us should have that childlike innocence where we're just curious about everything and that we want to learn and grow. So when I say that I've learned that age is nothing but a number, what I mean by that is if you stay curious and you continue to learn, you will always be forever young because you will always have that childlike curiosity that will make you open to experience a lot of different and new things. And I think that newness of learning keeps you fresh and keeps you young. So, yes, I turned 60, but one of the first things that I had to learn and succumb to was the fact that, guess what? Yes, age is nothing but a number. And I had to embrace that, and that allowed me to move forward. That actually set me free because I can say that, hey, I might be 60, I don't look it, but I really, really enjoy it when I tell people that I'm 60 and they're like, I love that. I love that. I love it when people do that. So, age is nothing but a number, is what I've learned. And I believe that you have to be true to yourself, So, like I said, one of the first things that I learned was that age is nothing but a number. And because a lot of times you don't feel like that number, that's a good thing. So pretty much what I mean by that is that you don't have to embrace that number, embrace the feeling of being youthful. Because when you embrace that feeling of feeling like you're younger and you embrace that childlike mentality as it relates to learning and stay in that state of continuous learning, then I think that you'll be forever young or youthful in your spirit and your mindset. And when you're that way and you laugh a lot and you have a lot of fun, that you won't age as much as the person who constantly worries all the time and who has an old person's mentality. And you're constantly thinking about death, thinking about, tomorrow's not promised, thinking about doom and gloom. But if you stay positive and you keep moving in that realm, then you'll always appear to be much younger than what you really are. So that's my story and I'm sticking to it. How about that? So on my next video, when I talk about age and I talk about the things that I've learned now that I'm 60, I'll be talking about the power of being quiet. So you want to definitely click on the next video that appears on this screen, and we're going to talk about very quickly the power of being quiet. You're going to want to watch that video. So stay tuned for the next video, and thank you so much for watching this one. And make sure to subscribe and come back to this channel often, because I'm going to be talking about some things, and you guys, you're going to want to know about, all of the things that you need to know to win in business and life. So thank you so much for coming to my channel. My name is Toni Coleman-Brown, where I help you to win not only in business, but also in life. And I will see you on the next video.